Hello friends, welcome back to the Dream Biz Podcast, the business podcast that helps you automate, streamline, and grow your business so you can work less, make more money, and achieve your full potential. I'm your host, Christy Johnson, online business manager dedicated to helping you make your dream biz a reality. Today is going to be a quick episode about one of my favorite software tools that I'm loving these days. It is called Airtable. I am sure you've heard of Airtable, and if you're like me, you were probably intimidated by Airtable. I am married to a software engineer, and he really nerds out about a lot of things, and he told me, hey, you got to try Airtable. It's really cool, and he puts a lot of stuff in Airtable, and I was like, no, I don't know. It sounds complicated and confusing, and I have ADHD, so when I try to, learn a new system, if I'm not really into it, it feels very overwhelming for me. Like I have to find things really interesting to be able to do it. Well, recently I have been using Airtable and I started to love it. Now, the only reason I actually started using it was because one of my clients was really into Airtable and uses it to organize all kinds of things. And I saw that she was using it so much in her business, and I decided, oh my goodness, this is like making my life so much better. Now, if you aren't familiar with Airtable, it's kind of like Excel, but like so much better. There are so many things that you can do. So you can do all the things that Excel can do, like, with numbers and formulas and all that type of thing. But there are some really amazing features that Excel does not have. So what I want to do is just really quickly talk to you about how I'm using Airtable and how you might want to use it in your business too. So I started using Airtable just as a way to do content planning. That's what I needed to do it for this particular client. And so I have been loving it. I have some other clients who use other tools like Monday.com or Asana or stuff like that to do content planning. And since I've been using Airtable, I have realized, oh my goodness, this is so much better. So let me tell you why I like it for content planning. Well, I really love the way that Airtable lets you expand boxes. So you can expand the cells. Like if you think of a cell in Excel, wow, a cell in Excel. If you think of that, then you can expand it and like type in it and more like a document style. So that is really cool because it makes it really, really easy for you to be able to like make edits to the document. You can even format it in there in that cell, so you can like expand it. You can expand the record and it will come up with multiple boxes, like all the cells. Like the way that it is just from a user experience is so much better because you know how Excel, everything is just like stuck in those little boxes across the screen. Well, you can actually open up each cell. They call it a record. You can open it up and then have everything in there so you can like edit the task as one. Like it's really cool. I definitely recommend checking it out. And what you can do is you can open that up, expand it so that you can write and even have bullet points. You can put emojis in there and you can do formatting right in there, which is so great for content creation, whereas you can't do that on Excel. You can also, what I really like about it is that you can edit the description like right away. I've used Monday.com for planning before, and with Monday, you can't really do that. If you have multiple users on your account, you have to write it as like an update or a comment, which can be really confusing, but you can have the most updated copy in the cell just by simply writing in the cell. So it's really great. It's like Google Docs meets Excel meets like Asana or Trello if you've used something like that. So it's really awesome. So I love that. Another thing is you can upload files. So you can put the content, the video or the photo or whatever it is that you're using right there next to it and upload it right there so that you can easily see it, review it, and that type of thing. I also love that you can write comments on each record. So that is really awesome for approving content things or making tweaks or having your client, speak to you and say, hey, I want to change this. It is really awesome. Now, one of my favorite things is that you can do a drop down, which I didn't know until recently that Excel has this feature where you can do a drop down list, like where you can select different things and kind of color code it. So that's really cool. Well, in Airtable, you can do that if you want to, choose something from a list. Like if you are posting your content on multiple different platforms, like if it's going to be on Facebook, you can say, post this on Facebook. Well, what is really cool about Airtable is you can still do multiple things. You can add multiple little tags. So you could have the one record and say it's going to be on Facebook and Instagram as multiple little color-coded tags And then you can sort the list by those tags, which is really, really awesome. Excel has drop downs, but you can't select multiple. You're only stuck to one. So one of the ways that I use Excel is to keep track of my leads. I put where I have found them. So it's like Facebook, Instagram, in person, or something else. But there's not really a way to see if I want to select that they have like downloaded one of my lead magnets, or they have booked a discovery call with me, or they have attended one of my workshops. I can't really mark that they've done multiple of those things and then really easily sort who has like been a member of, a participant in my workshops. But in Airtable, you can totally do that kind of thing because you can put those tags and have multiple things. So you can do drop downs or you can do tags. It's really great. I love it. So I'm using it for content planning. I really, really love it. Now, another thing that is cool that I do in content planning beyond selecting those multiple tags, I don't remember exactly what they call them in Airtable. They have like a status. Actually, I'll look it up real quick and come right back. Okay, I'm back. So they just call it single select or multiple select. So you can do single select if it's a drop down, or multiple select if you want to do like multiple tags, or like if you have your lead magnet posted on multiple platforms or whatever. And I use this for content planning because I can say like if the content is going to go on Facebook and Instagram, I can mark both of those things, which is really, really awesome. Okay, I'm also using the linked records feature for the copy. This is so cool. What you can do is you can link records together to where if you are using the copy on multiple places, for example, then you can link it to another record and it will populate across both of those records. So if let's say that I have a paragraph or like a caption I'm going to use for a social media post, and I want to use it in Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. Let's just say it's one of those things where I'm just going to put it on all three. Then I can do I can link the records together, and if I edit it in one place, it will populate across all of three of the places. So that really saves issues if you edit it in one place and then forget to edit in the other places, then the linked records really saves you there. So that is one thing that I love. Okay, so I'm using it for content planning. I am also using Airtable now for task management. Yes, that's right, task management. Holy cow. I was using ClickUp for task management, and I very quickly ran out of space, and they were like, you're out of space. That means you get to upgrade. Woohoo. And they were like smiley faces. And I was like, no, that's not a smiley face. I am not excited about that. So I'm using it for task management because you can select assignees. You can select a user, so you can make your own assignee for it and say, hey, this is assigned to me, or this is assigned to my team member, David. And you can also set statuses, so like to do, in progress, review, and it's fully customizable. One benefit to Asana or ClickUp is like they already have it all set up for you to just go ahead and get going. Airtable, you do have to like kind of do the setup yourself, but you can really do anything that you want to, where it has totally and completely replaced ClickUp for me to where I am just using Airtable now, and it's free. So I am really loving that, and I just love the features. So task management, I'm using it to keep track of tasks for my team member, for myself, and it is incredible. I'm using it for my clients as well. Okay, another really great thing that Airtable would be able to be used for is launch management. If you are planning a launch, you can use there's a calendar feature. You can use that on the content planning as well. You can build out like multiple cells and keep track of dates and like put all the info in one place. You really need to try it out because there's so many things that you can do. You can link to another record. You can do long text, an attachment, check boxes, a user, a date, a phone number, an email address, a URL. It's really awesome. And it just is so much more intuitive than Excel. Apparently, I didn't know this, but you can do like a button, you can have a rating, and there's like a whole bunch of other things that I'm not even using. But the main things that I'm using it for is task management, content planning, and launch management. I also recently just started using it to keep records of client calls, notes for calls that I have with them. I was just doing a whole bunch of Google Docs, but with Airtable, I can just have them really easily all on one like spreadsheet. Basically, they call them bases. I can have them all there on a sheet, on a table. They call them tables in Airtable because it's an Airtable instead of like sheets is what Excel calls them. So it can have like all of those meetings. And what's really cool is like you can expand the long, what do they call it? The long text. Instead of like single line text, you can have like the long text. Then you can expand it and write notes directly in there with bullet points and bold and like I said, emojis and those types of things. So it is really cool. You can do check boxes. So I'm using it, for, like I said, for task management. I can do check boxes for subtasks. So those are the main things that I'm using Airtable for and why I'm really loving it. I also just love that it's color coded. It looks fun and it makes me happy. So I highly recommend checking it out if you're looking for some place to do some task management that you haven't been satisfied with other ones before, or you don't want to be on the paid plan. I will say definitely like Asana and ClickUp, they're more robust in terms of task management, but I barely use all the features for task management apps that I've used before, so Airtable is plenty sufficient for my needs. It does take a little bit of a setup. They do also have automations. If you are tech savvy, you can kind of connect some things to do automations in Airtable, so that's another reason that I am really loving it. All right, I just wanted to give you all a quick update on why I'm using Airtable for, and I hope this was really, really helpful. If you have any questions, as always, email me at Christy@ChristyJohnsonCreative.com. I would love to set up a free consultation with you if you need help with your business, whether it's in emails or planning, project management, task management, launch management, a new website, all those types of things. I'm doing them. So schedule a free consultation with me at Christy@ChristyJohnsonCreative.com. And I'll see you next time on the Dream Biz Podcast.